Venue here behind me really needs no introduction. 150 years old, it is the splendid Royal Albert Hall. And one artist here really did say hello to spectacular success at this venue. But sadly, she's yet to say hello to the many fans that she let down at the beginning of this year. But what is the latest? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, nice to see you. The Royal Albert Hall really, as I say, needs no introduction. If you've never been in, do treat yourself. You don't have to pay to go in, there's a coffee shop, might need a bit of a mortgage for a coffee there. But on a serious note, it is a wonderful place, you know, and they have a shop as well, so you can have a wander around these places without having to fork out a lot of money. And as I say, it's 150 years old, what a place. And we know all the royal connections with this, don't we? When you think about it, 150 years, just think of all the concerts, the promenaders, the fashions, everything that's truly gone on in that splendid hall. And yes, before you ask, I have appeared at that hall too. It's vast, big, huge, nerve-wracking. Back as ever though to your story of the day. It's interesting to note, isn't it, that the Royal Albert Hall was one of those venues that did spectacularly well for this particular young singer who broke out, had international success with all of her albums, and then decided, and some might say rather foolishly, to take on a residency that really could possibly be beyond her. We're talking, of course, about the singer Adele, and she is really incredibly popular. Whether you like her or not, you know, you can't deny the success. The albums have done well, but seemingly the live concerts have always had sort of their problems, shall we say, you know, acts concerts cancelled at the last moment, that sort of stuff. And Las Vegas, in which she was going to be paid a whopping amount of money, millions we're told, to spend weekends with Adele on the Las Vegas Strip. It all seemed so good, didn't it? Not that difficult to do, just 2 nights a week. And you get to see this particular superstar up close and personal, singing her wonderful songs. Then she dropped that bombshell, the video, you know, "My show ain't ready." You remember that one? She didn't know what to do to make it ready. She threw everything in that video. The show wasn't ready, the set hadn't arrived, the crew had COVID. What else could go wrong? And then silence. Now what's interesting to note, over in Las Vegas at the Caesars Palace, they still have the hoarding up for weekends with Adele. They were hopeful. And as I told you in a previous video, they were even debating about bringing in a lookalike, you know, a sound-alike lookalike. Not a bad idea, in fact, reduce the prices. Somebody could go and enjoy their weekend. The bigger problem for Adele is the dent on her image though, because as we know, a lot of people spent a lot of money on flights, hotels and tickets. Let's not forget the cost of those. So what's truly happening? Well, according to a very good source, the shop is still selling her merchandise. The reason why they've left up the hoarding is because they're hoping at some point that something could be resolved. But when we contacted Adele's camp, they're simply not discussing it. They say it's too early. It's been months. What I find interesting to note is that she apparently is insisting it could still go ahead. But really, now would you risk rebooking the flights, the hotels, and of course trying to get your money back from your previous tickets, knowing that this could be cancelled once again if things went wrong? Over in Las Vegas, as I say, they're still very hopeful. Over here in the United Kingdom, while her popularity may have dented a little bit, because she's such a recluse in between albums, nobody truly knows exactly what's going on with Adele. But as I often say here on the show, would you pay to go back and see her in Las Vegas? As ever, let me know in your comments below. Neil Sean, Royal Albert Hall, London.